Here with Damien Wright, and Righty, must be an exciting period for you with the new appointment there as assistant coach of the Tasmanian Tigers and of course head coach of the Hobart Hurricanes.
Yeah, look, it is, Abe. I'm wrapped, mate. Obviously, it was a really good opportunity for me to go back down to Hobart, and to get the senior assistant coaching job is awesome. So, obviously, the Hurricanes thing was just a huge bonus. I couldn't believe it when I actually got appointed, but just too good to knock back, really. So, looking forward to the next 3 years and working alongside Dan Marsh.
It's been an interesting journey for you as a cricketer and as a coach. You've been down at Tasmania where you had great success, and then over Victoria where it continued. Close relationship with Greg Shipperd, then prospered as bowling coach of the Vics. Then you were at New Zealand as their bowling coach, and then back to the Vics, and now you're returning to the Apple Isle.
Yeah, mate, it's been an interesting journey. It certainly has. But again, it was my career sort of started down there with Greg Shipperd in Tassie. So going back there, mate, is a nice sort of feel to it and whatever. But yeah, then over to Victoria where I've had some great success with the Bushrangers, obviously as a player first and into the coaching stuff. So it wasn't an easy decision in regards to that. I've got some great mates here, obviously, and a really good and close relationship with Greg Shipperd. So, but again, his legacy will live on with me. I'm certainly, going to try and coach as well, or if not like him, with my own sort of flavour, I guess. But he's one guy I'm going to miss a lot.
And you'll be teaming up with Dan Marsh with the Tigers. Two of you both moved states to get an opportunity in first-class cricket. When you guys first came together, would you have had any inkling that you'd be coach and assistant coach some years later?
No, mate, look, it is. It's wonderful, really. I guess we've both had to move from our home states to get a game and an opportunity. And yeah, look, we had a lot of success, obviously, down there with Tasmania, winning that first Pura Cup Sheffield Shield title, and that was wonderful memories. So, known Dan a long time, played alongside him as a captain. He was a wonderful captain, and now looking forward to grabbing a clipboard with him, I guess, and sort of continuing on that success Tasmania's had over recent times.
There's more cricket coaching roles available, arguably, than ever before, but it does require a fair bit of understanding from your family and a preparedness to move.
Yeah, it does, mate. Absolutely. Look, it's my family. I've brought them from state to state, and every time, they've been wonderful and really supportive. So, again, we're going back to Tasmania where we've spent about 11 years down there, mate. So there's a lot of friends and family and support and stuff like that. So it's like we're pretty much going to our second home. But again, yeah, look, you always need the support of your family when you're going to be a cricket coach or a player, mate. There's plenty of movement going on all the time.
And what can you see are the big challenges for you going down there?
Yeah, look, I think the big challenge is obviously Dan and I are pretty new to this coaching game and things like that. We also have a bit of experience, I guess. But it's going to be, I guess, the big challenge is to keep Tasmania on the top, really. First year in the Sheffield Shield sort of campaign. They were wonderful last year winning it. Tim Cawles left behind a fantastic sort of 10 years of Tasmanian cricket. So it's about us actually continuing that on, I guess. But, our own ways, we have to make sure that we continue on that success, but also bring on some really good young players. So, it's exciting times, it really is. The Ryobi Cup stuff last year was probably a little bit disappointing, so we'll look to obviously give that a bit of a boost. And then for me, obviously, the Hurricanes thing, personally, I'd want to make sure that we sort of make the final there and look for big things. I've got 3 years at the job, but I'm excited about sort of the list that we can put together. But again, there's some really good players there. Obviously, still got Ricky Ponting. Hopefully he's coming back and playing, because I'll certainly need his support. He's a wonderful bloke to have around in the change rooms, that's for sure.
And purple works for you?
I'm not sure, mate. Looked all right the other day, but I've heard some different things. There's some, look, the guy said it looked okay, but I probably like the black preferred because of the slimming look. But no, I'm happy with purple, mate. It looks good.
And just amongst the broader Tasmanian squad, you mentioned some of the up-and-coming talent. Who are the guys that you're looking to kick on in 2013-14? Oh,
look, there's a lot of players, I guess, down there. And once I get down to sort of to know them all in particular, but I'm really impressed with this young Jordan Silk. I thought he was he's a wonderful player. So he had a great campaign last year, and he was obviously pretty hard to coach against towards the end of the season. So I'm looking for pretty good things from him. From a bowling perspective, look, I think there's I guess I'm not sort of looking too young at the moment. I think they've got a really good balanced attack. Luke Butterworth again just keeps doing it. Ben Hilfenhaus is still a contracted Australian player, so I'm looking for big things from Hilfie. And obviously the big excitement for me is obviously always been James Faulkner. I think he's a star. So, and he is playing for the Melbourne Stars. So how do you like that little cliche? But look, he's a wonderful player, mate. I think he's going to be something pretty special in Australian cricket. So I think for now we've got a pretty balanced attack. But you know, obviously I can't wait to get down and have a look at some young guys coming through.
And as you move higher up the coaching ranks, have you got some of your own special sayings that you're likely to impart upon the guys down there in Tasmania?
Yeah, there's a few that I've got, mate, that I've sort of caught off you over the years, mate. Alexander Topov, there's a couple of those. So I'll probably ring Flem to get a few more as well. He gave me a couple along the way, but yeah, no, there's a few that I've shared with you over recent times.
And just on a completely unrelated topic, tell us about your first job or your worst job that you've had prior to moving into cricket.
My worst job, geez. I'll tell you, I was working for a building company at Terrigal, up at Wyong actually it was, on the Central Coast. And I was just sort of helping put together frames and trusses, but if you were late to work, the boys would put you on this wood chipper. And the stack was probably about as big as this Cove hotel that's behind us here, mate. And you had to feed this wood into this chipper, mate, that was about sort of way big. And it was just the most agonising job, the most frustrating job I've had anyway. So I stood there for about 8 hours a day, putting wood through this chipper and just watching it fly out and making wood chips. So I thought I better give cricket a crack.
Well, we're glad that you have, and all the best down there in Tassie and at Hobart, and we look forward to catching up with you during the season.
Good on you, Abe. Thanks, mate.